The map is Tournamus. The players are MC and Puma. And this is a GSL match between the red Terran here spawning on the left as Puma and the blue Protoss as MC on the right side. This is a four-person map, so we do not know, or the players do not know where the other player is at the beginning of this match. Now, I don't know much about either of these players. I do know this was a best-of-3 series between these two players at GSL, and I have a couple games by them, so I'm curious how those games will end up. Whoever looks at the length of the game knows that this is a longer game, so I'm really pumped to be casting this one, as it's sure to be crazy later in the match. And I just got to get my my stuff down here to learn exactly what the hell I'm doing. So learning to cast a little bit. Usually I have my keyboard shortcuts in front of me. Not today, so we'll see what's going on with that. Pretty standard opening here. Sorry, I'm getting all these kinds of notifications about that bastard that shot up the Dark Knight Theater. My heart goes out to their families of the victims, and I refuse to really focus on the suspect himself. So we'll just focus on some StarCraft here and let our judicial system figure that whole thing out. Sorry, side note, I still have yet to see The Dark Knight Rises. I really want to. I'm going to see it on Thursday, so that should be fun. But I feel like it's kind of been spoiled for me already. A couple of my friends have let loose on Facebook what happened, so that's not very nice. But I'm excited to see Tom Hardy's follow up Heath Ledger's performance. Heath Ledger is pretty awesome. I don't think he can really be topped, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, we do have a gateway rather, going down for a toss player, and he's going straight into cybernetics tech, getting that gas. Looks like he's trying to get warp gate as soon as possible. Not really expand for either of these players here. We have an orbital going down for Puma, and he's going to be pumping out a couple Marines here. Wait, what is he going to do there? Looks like he's going to... was going to send that Marine out, but this probe here came to see what's going on. I don't know what he's waiting to do with that barracks. It's just kind of sitting there idle. I don't know if he's going to throw down a core reactor or what, but Puma is still looking for his opponent, and he will be sending that Marine out to see what is going on. He'll be able to take out a probe pretty easily. And there's the gateway research going down for MC, trying to pump that out as fast as possible. Saving his chrono boosting, though, for the Stalker, getting an early Stalker out in case there's some kind of early aggression, and sending that Stalker, whoa, we just changed the rally point to the Zelnaga Tower so we can see what's going on. In the meantime, Puma's SCV is wandering over. They will see the probe leave the base and say, hey, this is where my opponent is, and I'm just going to waltz in here and see what I can find. Ooh, sneaks right in between those two buildings there and is taken out, but does see all of the tech, sees the cybernetics pumping out gateway, or the warp gate technology, sees a gateway going down, and then I don't think he saw the Nexus. No, didn't see the Nexus go down yet, so doesn't know there's any expansion going. And Puma's going to be getting a Stargate and getting a tech reactor on that factory. So maybe he's going for some kind of mech build here, or maybe lifting up that factory to fly across the map. Yeah, oh, just move it over here. Maybe we'll throw the starport on that tech reactor. In the meantime, we do have a little bit of an engagement here. 4 Marines versus Stalker. Some good microwing should allow these Marines to end up on top, and the Stalker is going to be forced to retreat. It's not going to get a kill here. Good microwing. See how the health bars here are not too horrible, and they're all alive. So he definitely divided up the damage that Stalker did among those 4 Marines, and that's what you want to do at early game micros. Try to get the most out of every single unit. So another Stalker in production. Warp gate almost finished. I did see a probe there. He's going to throw that pylon down so we can get a few units up in the front very quickly. He's going to be bringing out... Oh, I hope this is just a probe transfer. Yeah, just a probe transfer, bringing out that Stalker, turning one gateway into a warp gate. He only has one. 6 minutes into... Oh my gosh, here we go. I'm silly. 4 warp gates. So he's going for a nice 4 warp gate timing push here using this pylon. Yep, he brings in 3 Stalkers, 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, 2 Zealots, and he has a Stalker on the field already. 2 Stalkers on the field, and he will be engaging this sizable Marine force here, but there are no medevacs, so these Marines are going to start to go down as they're low on health. He could be microwing those Stalkers backwards, maybe to meet up the rest of his army, but the army is still hanging up there by the pylon. He might be waiting for a second round of warp-ins. I'm not quite sure why he's not engaging all of these Marines here. They're all very damaged, and he might have a medevac coming out here pretty quickly. Ooh, a Banshee coming out. Banshee flying across the map already. A second Banshee in production, so he's going to be going for some early aggression here, finishing up Cloak at the same time. I don't think that MC is prepared for this. He's getting his robotics up, but that Observer is not going to be out for quite some time. And this Banshee is going to make it to the base and throw up Cloak, and I would assume he would start targeting down some probes. Gets one. You could two-shot probes with the Banshee. Gets two. Gets three. 4. 5. This Banshee is just laying waste on these probes and these stalkers. That Observer is going to finish here really quickly, though. Trying to get as many probes as he can. This is a very solid harass. 9 kills by this Banshee here. And the Observer is... Where is the Observer? He is out on the field. That Banshee is going to be forced to just hang out back here. There's a second Banshee here as well. Going to be taking out that pylon. 4 Zealots here. Forced to retreat. Ooh, 4 more Zealots at the Zelnaga. And the probe is going to be moving up here. Maybe throwing down another sneaky pylon at the bottom. That's what I would expect to see. And we do have a bunker going down. Puma knows he's a little bit behind, even with that harass. He's going to get a few defensive structures up. Has a second orbital up as well. This probe is just going to see what the hell is going on over here. And he will see this bunker, a bunch of Marines, a second bunker being thrown down. Oh, that probe does die. Starport being switched out for the barracks, and it's going to be pumping out a couple medevacs, I would think. So things are, wow, oversaturated here at the main. He does decide to expand here, right as I said that. He is making 2 medevacs right now, and at the same time we've got our Protoss player forced to retreat, getting Zealot legs to try to surround all of that infantry army. What did he do with, yeah, the factory just floating around, not doing anything. So we're going to see kind of an MMM ball from Puma. And a Raven. Ooh, nice detector here. As one of the later strategies from Protoss against Terran has been this DT aggression with where they split the DTs up, so you have to burn scans to take out these DTs, because Terran mostly relies on scans for their detection, but if you split up DTs for some multi-prong attack, I'm talking like 1 DT in the main, 1 DT here, 1 DT taking out the army. You know, you don't have the energy to scan all over the map, and it can be a really effective strategy for a Protoss against a Terran. But getting that Raven up kind of eliminates that possibility for him to do that. So that Raven's going to be floating around, taking out any kind of DT aggression. I don't see any DTs on the map here, but it's just something, a precaution that he's taking. More gateways being thrown up, Templar archives being thrown up, so we're going to see some nice storms hopefully, and both players are just kind of hanging back, getting a big macro game up. We're going to see an MMM ball with Stim, Combat Shield, a bunch of Marines and Marauders, a couple medevacs floating around, and that Raven against an army that is mostly comprised of Zealots and some sentries for some good force fields, and then we should see some solid storms while these Stalkers kind of protect the back from these Banshees. We do have a drop moving ahead by Puma, as he does have units just scattered about the map. He's got a Banshee that's near death over here. He's got another Banshee to the northwest of this base, and then he has a Hellion at the Zelnaga Watchtower. But this drop is going to come in here. He's going to see it immediately. He's going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but this Stim is going to take out these Zealots. He's going to chase down these Stalkers instead and bring them right towards the mineral line. These probes are forced off the line, and he's losing quite a few. This is a very successful drop, and here come the Zealots. And he loads everything back up. Oh, he's going to lose another one as he did split up his medevacs a little bit. So he lost a couple troops there. But if we take a look at the workers killed, 17 workers killed. Wow, by Puma. So his harass is quite successful. But, you know, you need to be afraid of that maxed out Protoss army. They are scary to deal with when they're all bunched up, especially with storms. Ooh, and an Archon for some more splash damage here. I don't see him researching storms at all. He might be just going for these Archons. And, oh, nice blink. Does take out a probe, I believe. And if he doesn't see that, he's going to have 2 probes working on that gas for the rest of the game. That might be the case. And another drop going down here at the south part of the base, but not much health left on these troops. And these Stalkers might be able to know. This medevac's going to get away with half the troops it came with. And this Banshee's going to retreat home. So pretty solid harassment. He's got quite a few workers here. I want to see, yes, toss does expand one more time. Our Terran player just expanded as well, getting a third orbital up for that mule production. And we're getting a little bit of a scary army here for Puma. He does have, ooh, he did salvage these 2 bunkers up here. Little CV transfer, and he's going to be moving out. Oh, leaving a few Marines left in the bunker here. Maybe going for a big drop? I'm not sure what he has planned, but at the same time, we have MC moving out here with a couple Archons, a couple Sentries, and a handful of Stalkers and Zealots. So, what's the army supply at for these players? Well, that's not the button I want. We're going to be moving down, let's see, 138 to 132. So, our slight advantage to our toss player. Hopefully he can move down here and do a little damage to this third if he sees it, but he's going to have to get through this choke point, and Puma's fortifying up with bunkers, so it looks like MC's going to be going for it. No, neither player has upgrades, although we do have one weapon started by both players with Puma a little bit ahead, and he's going to send that Archon in just to absorb a little bit of damage while everyone else can do. Wow, he's engaging with this whole army. That was bizarre. Ooh, a couple ghosts here that could land some solid EMPs and maybe snipe out some of these Archons. So that was a weird engagement to only engage 4 of his units. But he did kill a bunker and came back with an Archon, you know, 2/3 down on shield. But damn, that comes back real quick. I had no idea how fast that shield can regenerate. I have no idea what that sound is. So we do have another drop by Puma starting to move out here. High Templar sitting at home. There's Storm being researched, as you did see all of those bio units. Stalker's hanging out here by the expansion, splitting his army up quite a bit, as he knows that his opponent can't engage his army dead on. He might have to go for some more, you know, cutesy harass push, and that's a lot of mules dropped here at the 3rd base. A couple supply depots being thrown down as well, and we do have Puma moving out with this huge army. Feels like he can't engage with the 1 weapons finishing up. He only has a couple seconds to engage his Protoss opponent before his 1 weapons finishes as well. And how many High Templar do we have on the field? Just 1. So if he can get a couple more High Templar on the field when that storm finishes up, he could do a lot of damage to this army here. Another forge going down for our Protoss player, so we're going to see another, a drop going down here at the natural and a drop going down here at the main. So a double-pronged attack here while Protoss decides to move up. I wish we had the MLG picture-in-picture here. He's going to engage here, and he's got virtually nothing mining, only at the 2nd base where there's way too many probes here, so he needs to engage at both of these points, and it looks like Puma's drop is very successful. He's going to have to bring his whole army home here on the map, and taking out a pylon might be able to take out that Nexus, and is going to be going for this Nexus as well, going to be engaging all these Stalkers and set some good blink micro to take out some of these Stalkers, but this army will fall, and this army will meet the giant army of Pumas and fall as well. So setting these probes back to mine after this drop, and there's still a couple Marines doing some damage, some weird microing going on by MC. Does decide to clean up here, and another drop coming from the north base across to the 3rd, while the huge army being brought across the map here by Puma. And I don't know if MC is prepared for this double-pronged attack. If he keeps his army split up, he could get a nice feedback on that medevac and end that attack there really quickly. But it looks like he's just going for it. He's sending almost everything that he's producing over to this big ball here. Does have 1 medevac loaded up, but we'll be going for another drop here. Maybe take out these upgrades. That would be horrible if we fall even further behind on upgrades, but no, that's not going to be the case. These Stalkers are going to come clean this up, but we do have a little bit of an engagement here at the middle. A couple Stalkers, or a couple Zealots caught out of position, and another drop here happening at the 2nd base. All kinds of, nice feedback on the medevac to take it out. He does lose all of these troops here as they are just abandoned because there's no way to take them home. So excellent defense on that round by MC, and this big army, it looks like it's going to be brought back. It's going to see this pylon here and take that out, but scary army. Both players are on the same supply, and it looks like their upgrades are very close. 4 High Templar just being warped in here for MC, and how many does he have on the map? He has 7 High Templar, so he could do a lot of damage to this army if he gets some solid storms and gets some feedback, because there's a lot of energy on these medevacs as well. He's got the observer. He sees that this army is heading in here. And he's a scan. Oh, a nice storm goes down and he stims just to get out of there. Oh my gosh, the MMM ball lost a lot of health there. Looks like he could be going for another storm, maybe a couple feedbacks on those medevacs, but he decides to make an Archon. Instead, he is doing quite a bit of damage to this army. These Archons absorbing a lot of damage. He should bring some of them back, though, as they're almost all out of shields. Wow, and he's able to fight off that entire army there. That was impressive. Yeah, I don't want him to lose these Archons, but chasing down this army here is going to help the supply. His supply just evaporated there. And he's going to take out this base here that was... Cancel it. Doesn't cancel it. He's going to be building a couple more bunkers here to fortify against this looming threat. But I think MC is making the right decision here. Oh, another drop happening. But oh, nice feedback. Almost takes out that medevac. He needs a couple shots. Another feedback. Oh, but he can't do it. He doesn't have any energy. That medevac's going to drop off his units and simply die. Archon, murder it. Thank you. So 3-3 finishing, or just started up. Oh, well, 3-3 weapons. 3 weapons finishing up. 3 armors just starting up for our Protoss player. And these shields just regenerate very quickly here. And it looks like another drop by Puma. He's just going to keep dropping, but the defense for these drops has gotten better and better throughout this game. He started off by getting quite a few workers here, 45 workers killed, but I think towards the end of the game here, he's definitely done a great job of shutting down all of these drops here. So he's going to be going for another drop. Quite a few Marauders in this medevac, and mostly Marines in the other one. But we're going to see MC move across the map. 3-3 is going to or the 3 weapons is going to finish here momentarily, but instead the drop happens and he decides to retreat, and that High Templar is going to get a feedback, but not going to kill that medevac, and that High Templar will go down. These Zealots will go down, and we might lose quite a few probes here, but we do have the army right on this high ground. Does decide to blink down, take out that medevac, and is going to take down all of these troops, but not before the Nexus falls. Will it fall? It survives. With 4 hit points left, the Nexus survives. Oh my god. I thought they had that for sure. A big engagement may occur here in the middle. Nice EMP on those Archons. Missed by a little, but does decide to retreat. And he's going to be bringing all of his troops back. Oh, those Archons can take such hits by... Oh, my God. Al does lose a ghost there, but an Archon does fall, and he needs to get back to these cannons for some reinforcements. But, oh, my gosh, doing quite a bit of damage to these Archons as they have no shield, and that EMP does so much damage. It looks like this MMM ball is going to have the edge in this engagement. If he brings in his High Templar to the fray, they probably won't do much but die. But with some good microing here, I don't think they have enough health to clean this up. They do have 1-2 while these, just finished 3-3, so the upgrades were the difference in that battle. Even cleans up the medevacs, and we have MC ahead by a lot. Supply 114 to 98 is distance mining. This Nexus did fall. I did not see that. I gotta work on making sure I see all of those, but Puma with the 1-2 upgrades, 2 armor finishing up, 3 weapons finishing up, while MC's sitting on 3-3 with 0 shields, though. That may have helped his Archons just a little bit. But the superior upgrades definitely goes to MC, and he looks like he is going to try to put the pressure on here. Both players kind of starving for minerals. If we take a look at the income tab, our Terran player is making a lot more money, probably just on mules. But this is all he has left. He's running dry on both of these bases, and he needs to secure a third. Nice storm. Does take out quite a few troops here, and these SCVs are brought off the line. MC does retreat here. I'm not sure why. I feel like he does have the advantage in this match, especially with 2 High Templar with storms. Will he? Ooh, nice. Ooh, a horrible stim. Does force the stim and decides to bring back, draining the energy out all of these medevacs. A scan does see exactly what MC's up to. He's going to try to use that stim to his advantage, but loses the stim. That's just a lot of health loss there with no damage done to his opponent. So a little bit of a mismicro there in the stims. And MC is going to be grouping up with all of his troops. I want to see him move across the map. Another drop here with 4 Marauders being moved across the map. Maybe at this base here, but I don't think 4 Marauders are going to be able to do much unless he sneaks by these cannons and drops them in the back here. At the same time, our Protoss player a little bit ahead in supply, 18, as has been the case most of the game here. And this is a scary group of stalkers that might actually fall against this big army right here. He needs to group up his army and engage this, get some solid storms and some feed. I don't even know if I'd waste the feedback on these low energy medevacs, but get some solid storms, and there will be an engagement here. Stim does go off, and he decides to blink back. EMP's just the High Templar, so that High Templar loses all of its energy, and these stalkers are forced to retreat. Both players just kind of circling each other like in a Mexican standoff. We do have a Colossus on the field, so a little bit of a tech switch here by MC, and there is an engagement. Nice storm on all of these troops here. Nice feedback as well, and these Archons are going to be pushed forward as it is morphing. And this other Archon will probably fall if he decides to. Oh, it does take out a unit, and that Archon will fall. So one Archon, a handful of Stalkers, and a Colossi pushing back this Bio Ball. Two Colossus, I'm sorry. Workers pulled off the line. What little troops he has left is engaged, but he's a one behind on his upgrades. And this Protoss army looks like it's going to be able to clean up here. Reinforcements coming in from the back, and that's the GG called by Puma. So quite a long macro game. Solid harassment by Puma in the beginning, but MC just kind of figured it out. Got ahead on the upgrades, and these Archons can just do a scary amount of damage. So this was Nate casting as another solid game by these two pro players. And thanks for watching, guys.